Hey everybody, Max here, and today I thought I'd talk a little bit about this new digital render for the upcoming Punisher figure from the Daredevil Born Again series. This is the John Bernthal Punisher. He's not bad in the role, let me say. I mean, John Bernthal's a great actor. I'm not gonna lie. I guess I'm just never been quite sold on him as Frank Castle. To me, this guy is probably the best representation that we've had of Frank Castle on screen. Big tough hombre, Ray Stevenson, the late great Ray Stevenson. It's a shame we didn't get him in another Punisher film, but he seems to look more like the Frank Castle of the comics than any other guy that we've had so far. But he's John Bernthal is good in the role. Don't get me wrong. I think that they lean a little more towards him being a little more crazy than just a soldier on a mission, a man who's singularly sold out to his mission. There seems to be a kind of I guess, a contingent of people who kind of paint him as being a psychopath and a guy who gets off on this. And that's not really what Frank Castle is. So I disagree with that. But I've always liked Punisher and Daredevil and their conflict and playing them off against each other and their differences in philosophies and that sort of thing. So anyway, the figure itself, digital render, of course, captures the look of John Bernthal very well. The looks like a good representation of his outfit in the season. He sadly does not come with a lot of accessories, similar to the Daredevil figure. Comes with a hatchet, K-bar, looks like a Glock 19 with an extended magazine. At least it comes with a holster to store, and I would be willing to bet that these are just decorative, these mag pouches here. Those mags are not going to come out, and I'm hoping that this belt is detachable in some fashion, but I am willing to bet that the mag pouches and the holster are probably glued on there, and if you want to take them off, you're probably going to have to heat this up and peel them off, and I don't know what they'll look like after you do that, but it like I said, it represents the look of the character in that particular season of Daredevil Born Again. So maybe we'll get a new Daredevil or Punisher series down the road. We'll see. So this is just kind of the standard. He comes with two pairs of hands. The cupping hand is great. The fist hand is great. The trigger hand is great, but he needs a left-handed trigger hand and a left-handed fist. He does not need this open gestured whatever hand. I don't understand that. So, and it doesn't look like yeah, he can't hold the Glock and hold the knife and the hatchet. He's definitely not going to be able to hold that knife in this hand, and he can't put the gun in the left hand. So this is kind of a misfire. So I am hoping that the hands that I have for my retro carded Duke figure will fit, or some of the extra hands that I have from my Action Force figures will. The pegs may be too big, but I will sand them down and I will make it work, because this is disappointing. The weapons look good. The detail looks good. The detail on the sleeves, the armor, even the mag pouches and everything, the fatigues, the pouches, the texture to the knee pads and the shoes, boots, folds in the pants and all that. Looks good. It looks good. It's good representation of what we see in the show. Sadly, we do not get a shin swivel, which that is very common with MCU-based figures, because they have to skimp somewhere because they are giving us the face of an actor. So that means less articulation, which sucks. Now, at least it didn't sacrifice thigh cut. We definitely get that. I can live without the boot cut. This guy looks like he's going to get the same kind of floating shoulder, faux butterfly joint, which is unfortunate because we're going to have some trouble with him holding a rifle once you put it. I'm willing to bet. So I think there's going to be some limitations there. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm willing to bet that it's going to be a problem. There's not going to be a lot of crossbody. So so that's kind of a disappointment. There's old Ray. This is the just kind of revisiting the Daredevil uh, digital render. So similar in accessories, 3 accessories, 2 sets of hands. This is also disappointing because he's got, instead of a second fist, he's got this open gesturing hand, which is kind of pointless. I don't think he needs it. And so they kind of messed up there. But similar in scale, similar dimensions, similar articulation. I do hope that Frank here gets the floating neck that the Daredevil figure is getting. I'm willing to bet he does, but we shall see. Obviously, he can hold the knife in one hand, the trigger finger hand, and the hatchet in the other. But that hand is so far open that he can't, he has to choke up on it. He can't hold it. You're not going to be able to hold it down at the bottom with this open hand. So that's a disappointment, of course. And then, of course, like I said, no shin swivel, but looks like, of course, we'll get the ankle rocker and all that kind of stuff. So, um, what can I say? Detail's really good. This is kind of a vanilla pose, a little generic action pose. Similar here, kind of revealing, showing some of the joint work and the articulation and all that kind of stuff. So very similar. Um, it looks like a very well hidden bicep cut, and look, we got double jointed pinless elbows and knees, which is great. Update to the original Punisher figure from the original Netflix Daredevil series. So yeah, he can hold the hatchet and then la-di-da with his, I don't know, gesture with his hand. Maybe he's calling Doctor Strange or something, but this is a bummer. But at least the holster works and you can actually use the weapon, the Glock 19. And here you can see a change in coloration, and I think that indicates that these are soft rubber, these mag pouches, therefore to allow for no hindrance of the articulation in the legs. But it's yeah, it doesn't look realistic, and I'm hoping that, like I said, the belt is detached, but I'm willing to bet that they're glued on, and if you want to get them off, you're going to heat up the figure and peel them off, and hopefully it won't look too janky after you do that. So yeah, this guy, is going to be he's going to be needing a lot of extra armament, but he represents, I guess, how he looked and how he fought in the series. So pretty good diaphragm cut here. I'm sure it's going to be a rotation and all that. The detail in the rest of the vest will probably hinder the forward movement. We'll get better backward movement like we always do. And then we'll have to, at least I'm going to update and tweak the skull logo to make it more whole. I don't like the way they did this in the show and all that stuff. So at any rate, I'm hoping that the head sculpt turns out as well as we're seeing here. I'm sure there will be some discrepancies, some sacrifices. This is a digital render, and they can make it a little more detailed than sometimes what we get in real life. But looks pretty good. Here's the original, and definitely, definitely old school, old tech and everything. I find it funny that this same rifle and pistol they reused for the Bushwhacker Punisher 2-pack that came out last year. So they like reusing the weapons over there at Hasbro, and so they gave us those again. The legs, I think, were used with the What If Killmonger figure. So if you ever wanted to grab that figure for $10 and dye in black and add a decal, a Punisher skull decal to his chest, swap out the John Bernthal head when he comes in, you might be able to have a similar look to this guy here. There's another look at that. I like this Punisher logo. I think they did that better. And this is another comic accurate. I like this look. I wish they would give us an update. And there's those same 2 dang weapons. And never have seen this sniper rifle again. You'd think we would have seen it with somebody else by now. But pretty cool. I'd like to see an updated version of that. And then there's the What If Killmonger, just to let you know what it looks like if you don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I may turn him into the Punisher. And I might, or if you have some of these Arctic Action Force figures, you might could dye those black and get a decal and have a little stand-in. That is, if you just don't want to wait until the new Punisher figure comes out in December, or maybe you just skip out on him because it just doesn't look right to you. It doesn't come with enough. There are some options if you're a customizer. Make your own. So I have dyed. I took one of these guys and dyed him black just to experiment, and the green turns purple. So, and as well as the waist piece. So, and the boots. So anything green and the waist will turn purple. So you'll have to do some airbrushing or spray painting or what have you. The heads turn black, and but the green around the goggles, it turns purple, and then the gold will stay the same. So, and if you want to dye these heads, you'll need to use some handy tack or some modeling clay or something to protect the eyes. So, but don't just be careful. I actually, when it worked on one, but not on another. I actually pulled the eyeballs out, the blue. So it's just the white, just like white eyes. So I'm going to have to update that. So, and I wouldn't dye the weapon and the stand black. The plastic just won't. It'll warp the plastic on the weapon, and the stand just won't look right. So those are some options if you ever wanted to just make your own Punisher if you're not really happy with this guy. Or you could maybe try a Desert Punisher. So that might be cool. I've been thinking about getting another one of these guys, the Desert Condor. They're going for $19.99 now. I might buy another one and see what I can see. Maybe dye that one as well, and or just keep in those colors and make him a Desert Punisher. And you could maybe try that with the Desert Steel Brigade. That's also going for $19.99. So here's Frank again. I ordered two. The FOMO was strong with me with this one. So, maybe I'll change my mind later. Who knows? But let me know what you think. I mean, for what it is, it's the figure itself looks great. It's just the hands and the weapons they're just not doing it for me. But there's a lot of display options if you're into classified or Action Force. So let me know what you think in the comments section. Are you excited about this guy? Do you think this is a good representation? Did you like the season of Born Again? I haven't seen it yet. I was waiting until all the episodes were out, and I'm going to binge watch it. So it's probably the next couple of days I'm going to binge watch it. So don't spoil it for me in the comments section, okay? I read all the comments, but don't spoil the ending for me, okay? But just let me know what you think of this guy and this figure, and are you a big Punisher fan? I certainly would like to see more of the Mike Baron, Chuck Dixon comics, those storylines adapted. I think those guys really got the Punisher. That was the Punisher that I grew up on and enjoyed reading, and not so much the more modern takes on stuff. And but yeah, I hope you liked the video. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk at you guys next time.